All right, hey guys, here we are, hole number 9. So one of the things that I did here was more of a layup. I'm not sure if you need to go over to the right here or not at all. Do check out my other guide. I think it's, a good shot even for clubs like a POC 6. I still think that's a pretty darn good shot. One thing that you can see, I'm going to really take off the top spin here. I'm thinking somewhere along the lines of here. Substantial amount of curl. So you can see with where I'm aiming, very little top spin. We want to make sure that we create a nice angle for the ball to get right as opposed to running out too far. It looks like it still may roll down the hill into the rough. It's going to be very close. So maybe even one on the, keep in mind if that was a 9 or even if that was 1/10 of a mile per hour more, it would have rolled down into that rough. So another thing I guess you could technically do, if your aim was really good, you could do a hook slice with that exact same shot and get it into that next fairway. So if I went hook slice with kind of a very similar top spin, but changed it to maybe like, a POC 5 or a POC 6, I bet you I can top spin it enough and get it to cut just as much right as I did with the perfect ball cut. So I could essentially, now you won't be able to do the perfect ball like I just did and add topspin because it's going to end up too left if you do that. So you have to go hook slice if you want to do it that way. But at least keep that in mind. If you have those advanced clubs, a hook slice there with a Kingmaker could be a very good controlled ball. And if you can hit that perfect, you should be able to get it into that next fairway there. And get it way up there. So getting it up here is going to have its advantages. If I get it up here, I'm going to be able to hold this a lot more likely because I won't have to go for a rough bump. I'm a little worried that I am going to have to go for a rough bump. I really don't want to because I'm not sure. Yeah, it might not get out. It might not roll out. But here you can see with what I'm going to have to do, I'm going to have to land this like right on the edge. I really do not want to land it here either. It's very tough to execute this shot. So I'm thinking somewhere in the neighborhood of 1-ish per. 7.2 rings. Make sure I don't add any extra power. Called a great ball anyway. And I've been really bad about that in this round. So with perfect ball, maybe I slide that into the pin and in for a shot, but you can see with how aggressive I have to play that, very tough to do. You don't want to rely on needing to do that. But the rough bump is also going to be kind of a tough shot. It's going to be much easier with a sniper, but still going to be tough. But I would resort to the rough bump over what my opponent is doing. So you don't want to go, you definitely don't want to go full backspin on a sniper. It's going to be way too much backspin, 6.5 bars. You have to land very similar. This is under adjusted. And you got to keep in mind that when you full crank up the backspin, it's not going to roll out. So that last bounce needs to land essentially right on the hole. So it's very tough to get the make like that. So you want to kind of stay away from that. So keep that in mind. Do check out that other guide. Also, feel free to check out my Masters. It's always a good opportunity to be looking at going towards Master. It's going to make that probability. It increases the probability that you can get those Tour 7 epics. All your pink cards always get elevated at the Master level. You never get anything like Junglist or anything like that. Especially when you finish, top 25, you can pretty much elevate your cards. And that's how most of the guys, ended up maxing a lot of stuff, is just by constantly doing the Master level, getting those Berserker counts up. It really is helpful to do that. So keep that in mind. But at the very least, use these, if you need to go that route too. So good luck. Check out that other set of guides and take care, guys. See you guys next time.